Are people just over protein themselves?
People are just over proteining themselves. Protein isn't the answer to really fix anything. If you're focused on just protein only and you're sick, you're going to get sicker because there's no real glucose. There's no living water. There's no trace minerals. There's the things that actually heal you.
So let's say I had a smoothie every day. Would tell me what to do. Protein powder? Could I do that?
Don't destroy your smoothie. Do something like clean and pure. No, I mean, straight protein doesn't do anything for the body. 5 years down the road, we'll start hearing every day that protein isn't what we thought it was.
This is a podcast I'm excited to do because, some people I'm obviously more excited to have on than others. But you are somebody I am very excited about because of many reasons. But let me first introduce you. We have the medical medium, otherwise known as Anthony Williams. Thank you for being here.
Oh, you got to take the S off my William.
Sorry. Sorry, Anthony William. You're right, Anthony William.
Easy mistake. It's made all the time.
It's a very easy mistake. Thank you for forgiving me so easily. You are so interesting. I mean, guys, if you don't know who Anthony is, or AKA the medical medium, this will be a really interesting podcast for you. He is very controversial. Yeah, I would say controversial, very polarizing. People either love you
or freaking hate me,
or hate you
so much they want me dead.
They don't. There's a big extreme. I
had a death threat yesterday.
You did?
It's crazy. Right before I did the Barnes and Noble book signing, I was
really
there, a ton of people showed up and everything. Right before we did it, I was getting out of the car and stuff, and all of a sudden, my team's like, boom, another death threat. And I'm like, great, And
wow.
I'm like, don't worry about it, guys. Let's just get this done. They're like, okay, don't worry about it.
Really? Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think people are
you're just not allowed to heal a lot of people, right? Like millions of people worldwide. There's a big difference between a dude who's a practitioner or an influencer or, a doctor or healer or whatever they are, and they get one or two people better, and then they shout it from the rooftops. They're just like, I got this case better. I got this case better. And they want pub on it, and they want, media on it, and they're freaking out because they got two people better. We're talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in the millions of being in wheelchairs, then walking finally. Being on Mattress Island, a medical medium term, Mattress Island, where you're just sick, chronically ill, and you're in bed. And you're in bed for 10 years. You get 2 hours a day out of bed, and you heal because this information is so powerful. You're not allowed to get too many people better in this world. Bottom line, period. If you do, you're going to get some hate. And that's just the way it is, Plus the topics I talk about, it's right now, how the political thing is so big. It's just political. It's just pounding the media, right? You got the Dems, the Repubs, conservatives, right? They're just going at it, right? Well, the thing is with medical medium information, I hit stuff like getting your blood drawn, blood tests, how they're not good for you and why, and how to do it properly. And that stuff pisses people off. That's an entirely different type of controversial, way different than just what's being pounded on the media right now. And so when people hear that stuff, they instantly go, fuck you. What's he saying? Don't get your blood tested. Don't get your blood work. This guy's bad. He's bad. Meanwhile, no, just listen to the information, learn what I'm talking about, and protect yourself. Save your life. Save your own life. So I think a lot of misinformation, a lot of confusion makes it difficult. But, and then I broke the chemtrail thing many years ago, got censored because of it, fought through censorship, fought through it. It's like, I piss a lot of people off by just breaking things early. The whole fragrance thing, air fresheners, scented candles, right? All of that. That's all my doing to actually get that information out there. And when I first started working on hammering that information out there about how toxic it is, people got angry because everybody was doing self-care with their scented candles. And when COVID came, everybody was doing their scented candles and lighting all their friends coming over, and they had it all on the coffee table and in the kitchen. And the minute they hear me going, that stuff is so bad for you, you have no idea what that shit's doing to you, they're like, I hate this guy. I hate him. This is for my mental health, these scented candles. So, the
Exactly.
controversy's there. You either love me and you realize, oh yeah, you're right. Scented candles are probably killing me. I love this guy. Or you're not going to take my scented candles away, buddy. They're good for my self-care and I hate you. So it's in these, I'm just giving you a couple of examples.
No, but those are
We can
big
even go
ones.
into deeper nitty gritty, but
We'll talk about, I want to go into the nitty gritty. You just said a couple of things, and people are probably curious what you're talking about. So talk about the blood tests. Why are blood tests not good for you?
what happens is the reason why somebody's sick, and this is critical to know, is because they have an immune system problem, no matter what it is. No matter what it is, if they're sick, their immune system is struggling.
Yeah.
And they go and get the blood work, they get the blood drawn, but their immune system that they need to protect them so they don't get sicker is leaving their body in the vials of blood that's being drawn, right? And then the alternative health movement. Now, here's the reason why I'm hated too. This is great. The alternative health movement in the last, I'd say, 6 years, maybe 7 years, went to this whole your immune system is in your gut, right? The
Yeah.
immune system is in your gut. Did you ever hear that
A
before?
million times.
Million times,
Yeah.
but it's wrong.
Really?
It's wrong. It's dead wrong. And dead wrong.
How?
You
Why?
have some immune system in your gut, some, and then they also try to make you think it's all in your intestinal tract. Your immune system is in your intestinal tract. No, it's not. It's in your bloodstream. That's where it is. Circulating throughout your whole body, trying to stop brain infections all the time, trying to stop you from getting sepsis. Your immune system is in your freaking bloodstream. The reason why the immune system talk came to be where it's in your gut is because of the probiotic companies, because of the money poured into all of that, and the advertising and the money and the promotion and the campaigns for the whole probiotic movement to explode. They came to this decision universally that it only makes sense if probiotics are helping your gut, they're helping your immune system. Your immune system's in your gut. This whole thing developed from this, right? But it was wrong. Your immune system's in your bloodstream. Yes, you've got some in your gut. Yes, your lymphocytes in your lymphatic system. Yes, you got different areas, but it's not like people think. And so you die quickly or even die slowly when you're getting your blood drawn. So you have to be really careful, especially if you're sick. If you're somebody with lupus, you're somebody with MS, you're somebody with ALS, you're somebody with Lyme disease, neurological Lyme disease, keep on getting that blood work and you're just going to be like, that's it until you're done, until you're bedridden, until you're on mattress island now and sicker than ever. Because the sicker you get when you're getting that blood drawn, you're going to go to another doctor and get more blood drawn. We don't know why you're sick. We got to send you to a specialist now. Let's draw more blood, you see? And now it's the trap. It's the trap of all time. And so when people hear this, they're like, the guy's anti-blood testing. He's a bad guy. Don't listen to this guy. And then you get hate for it. But really, the reality is, you're hurting yourself, but you got to know how not to hurt yourself. Pregnant women are getting 5, 7 vials, 10 vials drawn from them periodically, right? Every trimester, they're getting it drawn from them while they got a baby in them. And that baby could be getting hemorrhagic shock from getting blood drawn, and they don't even know it, like mild hemorrhagic shock. And that's happening every day. So pregnant women should not get their blood drawn. And if they do, it should be a baby's vial and a quarter vial. And then if they need another one, then another baby-sized vial, quarter vial, they should get. But they shouldn't just keep on giving out their precious, viable, vital resource and just throwing it away. And the industry doesn't even need that much blood. And that's a whole nother story. I mean, we could be here all day talking about blood draw, but the immune system, you're sick, you got thyroid problems? No blood draw like the way they want it. No way. Don't just be like, fine, go ahead, boom, pouring that stuff out. Then you're sick. You go to another doctor, they're pouring it out. Like, don't do that, because if you do that, you're going to get sicker and sicker and sicker and end up bedridden or in some early grave or whatever. It's going to happen to you, and it happens to people every single day. Cancer, they take blood from them nonstop. People with cancer, you just keep on pulling it from them, pulling it from them. And it's ridiculous to how it works. And cancer, you're fighting cancer, your immune system is struggling, so let's keep on removing your immune system. Let's do that, and that's what people don't realize. So the system's crooked, it's bent, it's busted, and they need to actually start doing it right. They take a little bit of blood, and you can get everything you ever wanted from a little bit of blood. A drop of blood, you can get whatever you want.
Right. So then why is it that when I go to the doctor, they are taking like 20,000 vials of
Because they're
blood?
stealing the blood. The doctor isn't, but the industry is. They're stealing the blood.
Where are they putting it?
Exactly. You'll never know. Nobody does. That's the problem.
Because
Nobody does.
I do get like, it's an exorbitant amount of blood all the time.
Yeah, and you know what? You're going to be kicked down another 6 months in your health, 6 months, a year in your health, and you don't even know it. You might develop more symptoms, more conditions a year later because you're getting all that blood. Because it's just, and it could be slow, where you get the blood drawn, you're not going to experience those problems yet, but then it comes a year later because your immune system was removed, parts of it were removed, your Epstein-Barr started coming up. By the way, you got Epstein-Barr. Your Epstein-Barr started rising up.
I do?
Yeah, you do. Your Epstein-Barr started rising up, somebody's Epstein-Barr is rising up, and then we get in trouble.
What's Epstein-Barr exactly?
It's a virus. It's a virus that almost everybody has, but Epstein-Barr causing problems. And, like your thyroid, that's what's going to happen with your thyroid down the road. You're going to have this Epstein-Barr problem, thyroid and all that stuff. It's going to start kicking in. But
is it dangerous?
I mean, it can be for some people. It causes a lot of illnesses, causes a lot of problems. There's different varieties of Epstein-Barr. But that's the thing. There's all these women out there. They're losing all their blood. They're giving it away. It's getting taken away.
Wait, hold on. I have Epstein-Barr?
Yeah, you do.
You're laughing about it. Is that like
No, it's nothing to panic about. Nothing to panic about.
How do you know? By looking at me?
I know.
But where does that mean? Like, what does that mean I have? Like, give me a symptom. Like, why, how? You threw it out there.
It means if you keep on getting blood, because we're on this blood draw thing,
yeah.
if you keep on like unloading that blood to that degree, not being cautious, not being like really careful, telling your doctor, look, you phlebotomist, look, just take 2 quarter vials, get what you can. A month from now, we'll do another 2 quarter vials.
Are you allowed to say that to people?
Of course you are.
Because
you can put your foot down and be like, that's the way to do it. That's it.
Because if someone's a healthy person, right?
Yeah.
Going to the doctor to get their blood drawn, nothing really happens to them. It's for the people who have like real severe illnesses, when they get their blood drawn, is what you're saying is what's dangerous.
It's dangerous
for everybody.
But
everybody.
That's because you could be somebody that's 40 years old, 45 years old. You're not quite sick yet with too many things. You've had a couple of things in the way, some symptoms here and there, and then you're like 46 or something. You've had a lot of blood drawn. You're getting all kinds of tests, that year, and then boom, now you're like, I can't function. I got brain fog. I got fatigue. I'm going to this guy. I'm going to this herbalist. I'm going to this practitioner, this healer. I'm getting this done, that done, and then it's like, what's going on here? And then you end up getting a diagnosis of some kind, like autoimmune. The more blood you get drawn, the more chances you're going to get an autoimmune diagnosis. If you have an autoimmune diagnosis, you're already getting blood drawn because they're monitoring your autoimmune diagnosis. Now you're getting worse autoimmune as you go along, and worse autoimmune as you go along. It's the biggest trap is the blood draw problem.
Wow. That's incredible. But tell me, is Epstein...
And here's another thing. I'm the only one that broke this story. I'm the only one that broke this truth. And that's why I'm hated. That's why. Now you're going to see maybe 5 years from now, just like so much of medical medium information came to town, and it's like natural flavors we were talking about earlier. Info, I got it out there. Now all of a sudden companies are like, we have no natural flavors in our product.
Yeah.
You'll see that we got no this in our product. And it's Info that did that, just like fruit fear. Everybody's eating fruit again. That's medical medium work. That was medical medium hardship, fighting the fruit fear in the health movement, where fruit was demonic. It was evil.
Yeah.
It was sugar. You eat fruit, you're going to get cancer. And there was that whole story about fruit all those years in the health movement. And it took like blood, sweat, tears, medical medium info to break it and shut that down. Now the carnivore dudes are doing fruit every day with their meat. Everybody's doing fruit. Everybody's like, I love fruit. That's how it is. It's kind of like that. But
how about tomatoes?
But the blood draw thing is going to be big.
Okay, wait.
It's going to get real big, and then the tide is going to turn, and people are going to be really aware of it. And all you're going to hear is quarter vial. I went to my doctor, asked for a quarter vial. I don't want all my immune system removed from me. Info. And you're going to hear that pretty soon. But to get me to that point, it took a lot of bashings and beatings and censorship and hate, happens along the way. Being a pioneer, that's what you get. And then it all comes out later.
Right. Give me
And
another one. Besides, okay, we talked about the blood. Tell me one other thing that is like on the cusp that's kind of not known yet, but is on that precipice.
what the chemtrails really are.
What is that?
So here's how it works, okay? You got in the 1960s, the world was getting trashed by chemicals because chemical factories and the chemical industry, they were releasing it into the oceans, releasing it into the rivers, into the lakes, and everything was dying. That's what was happening.
Well, yeah.
And landfills too. So they couldn't keep that up, but they needed to produce more chemicals and more chemicals. There are millions of chemicals produced every year, like chemicals that aren't even used, where it's just, testing and, let's test this chemical, let's try this chemical, let's, all that, let's develop another chemical. And then there's byproduct of that chemical, but they have nowhere to put it. But what's interesting is, where's it all going? They're not dumping all those chemicals in the lakes and the rivers and the oceans anymore, and the landfills. If they did, it's way more chemicals than they ever had in the 60s, 50s, 40s, and 30s. See? Mm-hmm. Where is it going when there's more than ever before being produced? And so I released this information about chemtrails. What's happening is there's a deal brokered, private deal, obviously, and all these chemicals are being pumped into trucks, brought to planes, filled up with containers in the planes, not in their gas tanks,
Right.
like people think,
Right.
put up in the sky and dropped on us slowly. So you have these chemtrail planes. But right now we're in this baby stage. The baby stage is geoengineering. So you'll hear right now, like, the EPA talks about we're looking into geoengineering. And you see out there's some political figures. We're looking into geoengineering. It's way bigger than that. We have years and years, decades of chemicals being loaded into trucks, loaded into planes, and dropped on everybody slowly. That's how they're getting rid of it.
Where are they dropping it?
Like 20 years from now, we may know this by then.
But wait, where are they dropping it? Where?
Just everywhere, on everybody, worldwide. It's just being dropped. It's a different way of getting rid of it. You just fan it out in the skies all over the world. And so that's info that I've been breaking out there. It's not just geoengineering, where there's some kind of private military government kind of thing doing this geoengineering, where they're trying to change and manipulate the weather, and they're putting, all barium in the sky or whatever they're doing. Sure, a little bit of that's happening too, okay?
Right.
They do want to manipulate the weather, but everybody's getting wrapped up in that and not understanding to the degree of how much chem is being dropped, how many planes are dropping them all over the United States and worldwide. And so it's way bigger than anybody knows, and it's way more classified than anybody knows. It's way more. And so that's where we are with the chemtrails, but I'm really early on this. So you'll see now people talking about chemtrails. You'll see that I got censored when I put out my chemtrail podcast 6 years ago. Yeah, I got totally censored for that. I mean, they crushed me with censorship everywhere they can. And who is they? Like, why did anybody give a shit? Like, why were they censoring the crap out of me?
Who was this? Who are the
Well, that's
they?
what I mean.
Yeah. But who was censoring you?
Well,
Was it Meta?
You got the entire monster chemical industry, worldwide, planetary, like monster chemical industry. Got to think about that.
Yeah.
They're producing chemicals for every product that's in everywhere, in every shape, fashion, and form. It's not just plastic. It's not just the world's made out of plastic. The chemicals that are being made and manufactured, and they can't dump it. If they dumped it into Lake Erie, it would be completely 100% dead. If they dumped it into the ocean right now, the algae blooms would be way more worse than they are now. They can't do those runoffs anymore. They can't run, every factory, every chemical industry can't run all that stuff into the water like that anymore. They got to fan it out. They got to do that whole osmosis thing. They got to just sprinkle it about. that's the chemtrail industry, but we're nowhere scratching that surface. We are nowhere close to scratching that surface. Then that's the problem right now. But the good news, don't get me wrong, I'm so glad they're talking about geoengineering, because it's going to get us someday closer, hopefully, to those private, fields, airplanes landing in private fields, on federal lands, on private land, bases all around the world, and trucks filling up these planes with chemical. It gets us closer to getting to that reality, is what it does, so that we could get there. So right now, when somebody talks about geoengineering, like say the EPA right now, that's great. It's amazing. I'm glad they're looking into everything they can. Thank God, because it's going to make a change. There's a good chance. And I'm glad, like, there's states now considering, hey, let's try to stop any of this aerial spray. That could be geoengineering, but it's way bigger than that.
Is that why people are getting sick more? Is that
it's not helping? It's not helping with people who have asthma and all kinds of different health problems. It's not helping at all. It's a lot of metal falling out of the sky, mercury, lead, arsenic, just dropping out of the sky every day, copper dropping out of the sky. So we have all of that. And that's not even just like old nuclear fallout, radiation, other things. It's not even just all that. There's a lot of stuff involved, but the chemtrail is a mixed brew. It's not just this one brew for geoengineering, and that's what they're trying to do to manipulate the weather. That is like, that's like preschool understanding right now. Preschool, like that is basic understanding. That's like 101. It's bigger than that. The brews that are coming out of different planes, it's different. Each one is different. Some of these chemicals have been batches made 50 years ago that's been in backlogged, and they're trying to get that stuff loaded up and dropped because it's building up. And the chemical industry is a monster. That's the big one right there. And people talk about the Illuminati and they talk about the hierarchy. They're behind the chemical industry like that they're definitely wrapped up, tied into that. Anyway, so here's another example of information I talk about and probably why I'm hated.
Yeah.
I got to throw that in today.
Yeah. Of course you got to throw that in.
Why is AW hated,
This is why. So then again, but I know that you get your information from a spirit. Is that the whole thing? Like a spirit of compassion?
Spirit of compassion. That's great. When we talk about spirit of compassion, right? So age 4, I heard a voice.
Age 4, yeah. Please tell, because I want you to give people your origin story.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And this voice was talking about advanced medical information. And I've had to dedicate my whole life to that very thing. Like all the different bugs that people have and pathogens, different varieties of pathogens, and the toxic heavy metals. Like the autism thing, it's toxic heavy metals. Thanks, because I've been talking about that for 40 years. Yeah. So, from spirit of compassion, that's the whole point. The mercury with Alzheimer's, like all of that information, Parkinson's being toxic heavy metals, toxic copper. All of this came to me when I was like 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. I couldn't pronounce anything, could barely, say it, but I would say it and get it out. By 8 years old, 9 years old, I was learning advanced medical information, was being trained by this voice I hear. And sure, someone might be like, oh, okay, he's not a scientist. Okay, he's not a doctor. If I wanted to be a scientist, I could have been one. If I wanted to be a doctor, I could have been one. Like people are like, he's not an MD, he's not a doctor. I could have been one. I could be one now. I could go and be one. Nothing can stop me. I could do it, but I don't want to. I hear this voice. It gives me advanced information because how else would you know about the blood draw problem? That came from the voice I hear. I didn't wake up one morning like I'm a real smart guy and be like, oh, I'm a genius. This blood draw thing. I just pulled it out of my ass. Like I'm just really, I'm really smart. I'm a highly intelligent guy. So maybe it's not. No, it's. I hear the voice tell me. And the voice is like, here's how it works. Here's what's happening. Here's what's going to be a big part of taking people down with the chronic illness. It's going to be a big deal if we don't change this. So get working on it. Here's the information. Here's where your immune system is. Here's how it works. Here's how people are going to get sicker and sicker getting their blood drawn. So, and all those details involved are in there. And that information is profound and it's life-saving. If you're somebody sick with autoimmune right now and you're like getting sicker, but you're getting those routine blood draws, I just saved your life. And okay, maybe not me, but the voice I hear just saved your life potentially.
Would you still hear the voice? Like, how often do you hear the voice?
Too often.
Really?
So
Like, can
yeah.
you hear it like multiple times a day? Is there
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
can?
Yeah, definitely. I hear the voice too much. But but that's just the way it is. It's
Since you're
just
4.
since I was 4, yeah. Made life difficult. But what did it do? It created these incredible Bibles, these medical medium Bibles.
Yeah.
Information that's healed millions of people worldwide. And just for the record, more people healed than anything else in the world is medical medium information. More people healed from getting out of wheelchairs, multiple sclerosis, ALS, any kind of condition. More people healed. Children that weren't verbal, becoming verbal after doing the HMDS, like more people getting their lives back, rising out of the ashes because of this voice I hear. Yeah, it makes me different. Yeah, sure. And then people could be like, oh, I doubt it, or I doubt this voice. Fine. You get sick, find the information. You get sick someday, get on the bandwagon, learn this information, and save your own ass, save your own skin, because this information does that for people. And that's the most profound, incredible part of it.
Well, let's talk about cancer, okay? Or
Yeah.
the wheel, because cancer is a big one that I think everyone's biggest fear, one of mine. And if this information is out there and why are people still dying of like terminal cancer if this stuff is like written in so many books? Like, when people
Yeah.
have no more hope, like
Yeah.
wouldn't they just, even if they didn't believe in you, wouldn't they just go to the books or someone would say to them, try this particular
Well, I
thing?
mean, the health scene, how much is out there, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
tons.
okay, you got tons of money out there.
Yeah.
Tons. We're talking about billions, right?
More.
We're talking about, really wealthy people that become influencers that come from tons of money. They go and they get, campaign people, promotion, people, PR firms behind them. They learn how to game the system. They run ads by the truckloads on YouTube, wherever it is. They Instagram, whatever, and they run, they spend $1 million in ads a month. But people don't realize this, okay? Well, there's a bunch of those, and they're clogging up everything so that you just can't find your way. It's hard to find your way. And so with medical medium information, it's word of mouth, because we don't do that. We don't take millions of dollars and try to dominate the entire game, the system, and try to pull that card. So this is an organic movement, but a real one of millions healed across the world. And so it's word of mouth. But word of mouth is like this. I healed doing this, try this, right? I'm not running, $1 million of $1 million of ads a month to try to trick people into, the information. It's never like that. It's high integrity. It's just clear. It's just, hey, here's the info. It's in these books. Someone heals, they tell somebody else. That's how it's done. It's a big world. And what I'm trying to say is the health movement is saturated. It's really saturated right now. Okay. You got every single day, you got another 1,000 individuals coming out with a new product, coming out with a new podcast. There's probably 20 million health podcasts, but nobody knows they exist because they're all like underdogs, right? They're down there. They don't know it takes millions. They don't know it takes a lot of money. It takes advertisers. It takes all of that. They don't know how to game the system. They're not there. They're just like, I'll start a podcast tomorrow, but there's millions of them, right? But either way, the health movement is saturated. So it takes like an angel basically at this point, why someone's on their hands and knees praying to God, being like, I need an answer. I got mystery chronic illness. The doctor doesn't know what's wrong with me anymore. I got 50 symptoms. And then you're walking down Barnes and Noble aisle and an angel pushes the medical medium Bible, pushes the medical medium book right off the shelf, lands on the ground. They pick it up and they're like, what is this thing? And they open it up and it starts to make sense. MM info isn't common sense because common sense isn't all right.
Isn't so common.
It just makes sense. That's the difference. And they start saying, oh my God, this is me. This is me with my condition. I got the tingles and the numbness and the aches and pains and the vertigo that won't go away, the dizziness. I got the jaw pain, the back pain, the neck pain. I got all these different things going on. I got the trigeminal neuralgia. I got the migraines and the brain fog. I got the fatigue where I can't function. This has the answers. Here it is. And it takes, a certain person to actually do that. And then if they say, wait, where did this come from? Oh, guy that hears a voice. I don't care. I got to heal. That's it. You know, it's like that.
It's like, so is there like is there something that people should be doing every day that we're not doing to help our health, overall health,
Yeah.
our immune system?
Yeah. They shouldn't be worried about parasites because that whole thing's a fraud. So the whole parasite game is a fraud, big time.
Wow. Why?
Because
Explain it.
yeah, I'll explain a little bit. If you get a parasite, it doesn't live with you on a monthly, yearly basis for years, keeping you sick. You get a parasite, and you're the parasite. That's it. You die, or the parasite dies. So people get parasites all the time, but they gets killed off by their own body all the time. You go to a restaurant, you get a bad meal, you barfed one time, you got some diarrhea, you got a parasite of some kind. You got foodborne illness, you got a parasite. You got a toxic foodborne illness. 5 days later, you're feeling better, you're cleaned up, you barfed a couple of times, you're getting back into action. It got killed off. If it stays there, you barf and barf and barf. It doesn't get killed off yet. You barf, you barf, you barf until you die. You end up in a hospital, you're on, a salt bag. They're like, well, we don't know. It could be E. coli, sir. We don't know what it is. What did you last eat? What happened? What's going on? And you're just in agony. And then they pump morphine in you because you can't handle the pain. That's a parasite, but you're the parasite. You live without it or you die with it. That's how it works. People die all the time from parasites, but you can't have it both ways. You can't be living with one and sick with one for 10 years. You can't be. It's either you or the parasite. That's just how it works, right? So what are people living with? Viruses, shingles viruses, Epstein-Barr viruses, cytomegaloviruses, HHV6, HHV7, HHV9, HHV10 through HHV16, simplex 1, simplex 2, different varieties of simplex 1, simplex 2, strep, lots of different varieties of strep. They're living with all of this, and they're living with it for years. They get the thyroid nodules, that's from Epstein-Barr. They get all these different problems, that's fibromyalgia. They get autoimmune, that's from Epstein-Barr, shingles, HHV6. And they live this life with viruses because you can live with stealth viruses for years with no problem. You can live a whole lifetime and be sick on Mattress Island, like bedridden for 30 years, 50 years with viruses, pathogens, but not with parasites. But what happened is parasite game. It's an easy one to sell people. You got parasites. That's what it is. And here, maybe you got this kind of, maybe you got trichinella, maybe you got this kind of parasite. And they're doing it to sell all the parasite cleanses and parasite products. It's another way to game the system. And that's what's happening. It's another kind of variety of fraud. And it's rampant. And people are buying into it. And that's the sad part. And you know what they'll do? They'll poach some medical medium information with it. They'll put lemon balm in it or something, or cat's claw, which is info. Those are antivirals. So they'll take a couple of those things and stick it in a parasite formula and start gearing the parasite formula more to medical medium information, which actually heals people with Lyme disease and other problems. And then they'll kind of trick people out that way. But either way, they're still screwing them over by saying, here's a parasite formula and get rid of your parasites. No, you don't have a parasite. Now, worms are different. Worms are entirely different. Worms are separate from parasites. Worms don't necessarily ever kill you. A big old fat tapeworm, it gets too out of control. I mean, that can bring you down. But all the other basic worms, they're not killers. And people are loaded with worms and live healthy lives till they're 80, till they're 90, meaning they have other problems.
Yeah.
And they're shitting out worms and they're pushing out pinworms and they got different kinds of, different varieties. They got liver flukes from time to time. They can get worms, but worms don't stick you in the hospital on morphine with an IV saying to the doctor, you're in so much agony. I'm in so much agony. You have to cure me, doctor, please. And that's different. Those are parasites that are like either you live or you die kind of parasite. So
worms, you shouldn't be worms are not dangerous.
They're not. No, they're not.
Parasites, you're saying either you'll live with them or you get killed by them. So
yeah, you either have to
Kill that. Yeah.
kill them,
Yeah.
meaning like fast. So if you're in a restaurant, you just picked up a couple of
like a food.
parasites.
Yeah.
You just ate some shrimp,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And you get like sick from it.
Yeah, now you're in the hospital.
Right. So you'll kill them off fast.
Yeah.
And you're done. Or if they live with you, you'll die from them. Is that
You'll
what
eventually die from them because you'll get dehydrated. You'll be in too much pain. You'll lay in a hospital bed and die. And guess how many people die with food poisoning? They keep it under wraps. Those stats aren't out there. They die all the time. They die at dinner tables. They die at tables in restaurants. They die in hospitals all the time. Foodborne pathogens, meaning illnesses that are parasitical. But you can't live long term like that. It has to go away. It can't stay with you. You go down to Mexico, you drink some bad water, you have to heal within a timeline or you die. That's it. You lay in a Mexican hospital and you're on an IV and your body has to fight and fight and fight and fight while they got you on morphine drip. You have to fight and fight until you're freed from it and then you get out of the hospital. But a lot of times you fight, it doesn't stop. You're still puking. You puke yourself to death in the hospital while you're on an IV and on morphine. That's a parasite. You can't live with it long term. You can't. And so that's how it works.
So parasites and worms, I understand.
And why would I know all this? I'm such a genius. It comes from the voice I hear.
So like today, have you heard the voice talk to you?
Every day.
Like, do you wake up to it in the middle of the night? Does it happen? Like,
yeah, middle of the night, a lot of times, of course, and early in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up and hear Spirit of Compassion. It trying to inspire me to keep going, to still do this work, to still do the next book, to still, fight the good fight for the chronically ill. Nobody has the chronically ill's back. They just don't. There's a lot of great doctors out there, but in the end, it's really hard to kind of really look out for the chronically ill. And then there's the social media doctors. They're the worst because they don't practice.
Right. I understand what you mean.
Right. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
I do. So what it is, it's like a rich kid goes to med school, then, on mommy and daddy's money, gets out of med school or whatever, chiropractic school, whatever they choose. Right. And then they don't want to practice. Social media is shiny, flashy. They can use their credentials. They can get on social and start talking about stupid food facts, stupid, chronic health facts. No, right?
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Okay,
yep.
Okay. They don't want to go into the trenches, right?
Yep. Yes.
They don't want to go and hear people like whining and crying. They don't want to sit in an office all day long and say, okay, Mrs. Ferguson, come on in. I got your chart right here. Okay, your shoulder hurts still. Did you try that drug I gave you? Or, did you try that turmeric I gave you? Now, because every MD is using turmeric.
Yeah.
It's like, they don't want to do this. It's mucky, dirty business. They don't want their hands dirty. The social media doctor is such a letdown. Absolute disgusting letdown. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a business in itself.
And I'm not talking about some of the social doctors that had 20 years in the trenches.
No, I know. You're talking about.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking about, let's clear that slate now.
No, but I understand. Like, I think it's I think it's a business. I have a lot of people who come on the show. They don't practice anymore because they're focusing on their media and fame and all the other stuff or that stuff. And they're not in the trenches or, like you said, doing the work, the actual work.
But the medical meaning books are the trenches. Their stories are there, what they've gone through, somebody literally in the thicket of hell and what their symptoms are like, and then coming out of that. And besides, I spent 30 years in the trenches. I helped people one-on-one.
I was going to ask you,
hundreds of thousands.
Did you do one-on-ones?
One-on-ones, 2 offices for decades. I was in the trenches trying to help people. I worked hand in hand with doctors in difficult cases. So it's not like I woke up one morning and said, I want to be a medical medium. That sounds like a great idea. Let me open a social media account. No way. I mean, I just did an event at Cafe Gratitude just now where we had, we sold out dinner. It was a book signing event. And someone walked up to me and it was a client from like the earlier 2000s. And it was unbelievable. It was an old client from the earlier 2000s. And I haven't, in the last 10 years, I haven't worked with anybody one-on-one. I haven't done that. But before that, it was day in and day out. It was 6 a.m. till midnight, 6 a.m. till 2 a.m, like meaning all the way around
Yeah.
7 days a week. Didn't take any time off. I did this for year after year after year after year. I was in the trenches. I know what chronic illness is. But you get these kids, they go to med school, mommy, daddy pays for it. They come out, they want to just do soch. They don't even want to understand it. And then they want to sell products, shit products to the chronically sick. It's disgusting.
And so you
Now you know why people hate me?
Yeah, no, and I'm getting a good idea.
You want to know, you either love me.
I know.
You either love me.
People do love you. In fact, actually, I told you this a long time ago, maybe, but years ago when you first came on, people told me some crazy stories about you because I was like, who is this guy? He sounds kind of like kind of a wacko, right? Like some spirits talking to him. Yeah. And like people like who were pretty legit were like, you've no idea. Like, I have to tell you, like, this actually happened and that actually happened. And this is actually what happened. I'm like, really? Like, I was like, okay, maybe I should be a little bit more open-minded. And then you said a couple things to me.
Then you reached out to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Many times. You were not so easy to get.
No, I was like, I don't want to go on there.
Yeah, you don't like to
feel like going on.
Yeah, you don't like to do a lot of.
I could do the circuit. I mean, I have a big enough platform where people are like, get that guy on.
Right.
We get asked every day, right?
I'm sure.
It comes into our media page on my website. Can you do this, podcast? Do this podcast. And I just, over time, I just pick the ones that I feel like doing, and that's it. But
I'm so honored that you came on my podcast.
I'm honored you had me on. Okay.
I love this. I think you're so fascinating because I actually I'm a believer that there's something more to our world or our universe than just what we see, face on, right? Like, and so.
I don't try to dress up like a guru. I don't try to wear, clothes and fancy necklaces. I'm not doing this all day long. I mean, I hear a voice. I mean,
it's amazing.
If anybody has a right to like throw a gown on and do this and just be like this 24/7 and let my hair out and act like I'm Jesus Christ, I might have somewhat of a right to a degree to actually act like it. But no, I hear a voice and I try to just be, as cool as I can and as normal as I can, if that's what you call it.
Yeah.
If I try to be as normal as I can.
Normal as you can.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
But what I'm
gonna
saying
clip
is
that.
I hear a voice. There's people in spiritual retreats all the time. They're like, oh my God, like talking about the universe and everything else and everything spiritual. I hear a voice since age 4. Like millions have healed because of it. And I'm like walking around like, da 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 da, like what?
Right.
Jennifer, you want me on? Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, I'll be there.
I love that. What does the voice sound like, first of all? And do they know your name? Do they say, hey, Anthony, here I am again today on,
No, I told the voice, stop saying my name.
So what do they say?
Long time ago, stop saying my name.
What do you hear?
I tell the voice, say AW. Call me AW. And the voice doesn't call me AW. But I tell the voice.
You hear it actual, is it a boy voice or a girl voice?
It's the actual voice I hear, and it's not in my head. I wish it was.
What, it's not in your head?
I wish it was.
Where is it?
It's on the outside.
You actually hear a voice.
It's on the outside. So I could block it, and I hear it mostly in the right ear.
Do you hear, is it a boy voice, a man voice?
It's a man's voice, yeah.
And let me ask you a question.
And listen, it's a man's voice because maybe that's what I needed it to be.
Right.
For it to work.
Right.
On me.
Right.
For me to be like, I will dedicate my life to doing this, And the big turnaround for me, was when I was young and my dog was drowning in a very cold, deep river. And I jumped in and the voice I heard, Spirit of Compassion, said, if you go any further, you're done. That's it. You're gone. Right. And I was like, not going to swear too much on this episode.
Yeah, it's okay.
I was like, screw you. I dedicated my life. You want me to dedicate my life to this? I've already worked on so many people and worked with so many people. I'm already spreading the information. I was much younger. And I was like, I need my dog. I can't let my dog drown. You should be able to help me with this, And I dove in and it was basically suicide. And I got way out there and my dog went down and it was the scariest thing, but I knew. And when I got out there, I was starting to numb up and I knew there's no turning back. I was already too numb. It was that cold. It was like 38 degrees kind of water. And then I went down, saw my dog in an angel's arms. And I reached over, the angel handed my dog over. I grabbed the collar on my dog and my dog August. And I pulled the dog up and I got to the surface. And then it was the second time I saw Spirit of Compassion ever, the second time. Because I only saw Spirit of Compassion once when I was 4 years old. And then I got to the surface of the water and Spirit of Compassion was on top of the water, just standing there, and said that basically that angel's not going to wait for you. You only have a few seconds to get back. Because it wasn't Spirit of Compassion that was saving me and my dog. It was an angel that did it. SOC wasn't saving my life. SOC was telling me, you were given this gift. An angel heard your cry. You got just a few seconds to get back. And I dragged my dog through that deep water, got to the shore, crawled on the shore, and survived.
With the dog or without the dog? With the dog.
It was in that. And then I told Spirit of Compassion, I'm yours. That's it. I'm going to dedicate my entire existence, hell or high water, problems, censorship, like I deal with all the time. I'm the only one censored on X right now. I mean, that's what I believe anyway, because unless someone else knows they're censored on X, but I'm censored on X. Like what?
I'm shocked. I thought that for sure, like Elon Musk would like love you.
Yeah, I don't know him personally. So, but yeah, I'm censored on X. It's ridiculous. So Twitter censored me a long time ago. I was rising up on Twitter real fast.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I would imagine.
I was cruising on
Yeah,
Twitter.
I would imagine.
And then somebody in Twitter just said, censor this guy, right? And that's what they did. And then when Elon opened up the floodgate, nobody censored anymore, And
exactly.
Bring Donald Trump back on, No one censored whatever it was.
Yeah.
I stayed censored. Still censored on X. It's unbelievable.
Why?
Who knows? Maybe it's just the way the system was set, and there's not an engineer talking to me to say, look, let's unglitch this. Twitter glitched you. Let's unglitch it, but I don't know any engineers on Twitter to actually take their time and be like, let's actually try to fix this for you. You know what I mean? And that's just how it works.
What's interesting is besides the blood, I mean, most of the stuff that you provide though is not harm. I mean, people I guess would say some of the things are harmful if you don't have a medical degree.
Well, you know what it is? If they don't study the information, they don't really look at the information properly.
Right.
They don't read it. They don't take their time. They're never going to really understand it. So they're going to take like somebody else's, that medical medium said, do this.
Yeah, I know.
And people run with it,
But how in your experience, what's the accuracy rate that you've had? Do you know? Have you ever thought about the accuracy rate?
I mean, the amount of people healed, the track record is insane.
Right.
I mean, insane.
But has the Spirit of Compassion ever been wrong that you've remembered?
I mean, I'm wrong, but Spirit of Compassion isn't.
What have you been wrong about?
I got my own thoughts. I got my own, I don't put them in the book. I don't put them, it's all SOC in the book. So all that information is only SOC. I can't put my opinion in the book. I can't be like my separate self, You
can't.
Be like, well, what if jumping in an ice tub of ice is a good thing for you, ice plunging, cold plunging, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it is good for you. You know what I mean? Like innocently saying that. And then SOC will be like, it's not. If you got chronic illness, if you got a sensitive central nervous system, you can't be sitting in that, that cold water. Your immune system will drop. Right. And by the way, I talked about that. And then some of the influencers are like, yeah, if you're a woman, that's my information.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, you might not want to do the cold plunging because it might not be good for you. You're different than men. That's medical meme information. People follow all my info and everything. And so they take that. But me, I could be like, wake up one morning as Anthony William and be like, yeah, maybe I should cold plunge. Maybe it's the smart thing to do. Maybe it is good for you. And then SOC says no. And so in the books, it's all SOC. My own personal life, I could walk down the sidewalk and make my own choice and try to go this way and trip on a curve and be like, oh, fuck, I just fell. I have my own free will. It wasn't taken from me.
Right.
But when it comes down to the hardcore stuff, get healing, moving forward, people healing, chronically ill healing, recovering. I'm going to listen to SOC. I'm going to get those words and I'm going to make sure they're in the books right. And I'm going to make sure it's done right But me, sure, I can wake up in the morning and be like, let me drink this old coconut water that's been out for 3 days and be like, oh, it's fermented, you know, because I got my own
Opinion
my
or
own opinion, my own free will. I can do what I want to do to a degree, but SOC, it's different, you know, like fermented food. People think it's good for you. It's not good for you. I would have thought it's amazing for you. Me
Really?
personally would have thought, it's incredible. It's ancient. Fermented foods got to be good for you. Got to be good for your gut. And SOC says no. It's dead. It's not. It's death. It's not good for your gut. Any kind of any kind of microorganism within fermented food is for death. That means if a body dies and starts decaying, like even a piece of meat, piece of flesh, stick it outside on the ground, and the microorganisms are death-based ones. So if you ferment meat, it's death-based ones. That's not living ones, you see? Fermented food is not good for you. That's SOC's information. I've published it. I put it in the books. And by the way, I do have some credentials. I'm a #1 New York Times bestselling author.
Multiple, right?
Multiple. And just so you know, led the way in my publisher for many years.
How many books have you sold?
#1, and a lot of books sold around the world. Because I know you do like business stuff and all that
Yes,
stuff
yes, yes,
too,
yes,
you know?
yes. I'd like to know these
It's
things.
in the millions and millions.
How many? We want
and
numbers.
That is rare.
We want numbers. How many have you sold? Like 10 million books? 10 million books? 5 million books? 2 million books? 1 million? 20 million books? 30 million books?
It's a lot. It's just a lot. But the bottom line is, and guess what?
So wait, people are going to ask, so 30 million books, would you say?
A lot of million books. And check this out. Right? Check this out, okay?
Yeah.
It's rare.
Very
and guess
rare.
What?
Yeah.
Done without advertising campaigns, no promotional companies, no PR firms, nothing. And no of the whole thing where there's the services. If you're an author and you got money, you can buy a $500,000 program and they'll ship out all your books. They'll do your books and they'll get you an NYT, right? None of that. All integrity, clean. Nobody knows the biz out there.
I know the business.
You know the biz?
Trust me, I know the business.
All of it is organic. All of it is really, really grassroots. Why? Because I'm a nice guy? Because people like me? No. Because people freaking healed and got their lives back. People that were really sick. Because you're not going to a guy called the medical medium to fix your problems. You're going to go to your freaking doctor. But you come to these books because you're on your last, thing, and you realize this was the answer and you heal. And that's why there's that many books that were sold out there in the world.
No, it's true. Funnily enough, I mean, most people don't understand the business behind the business,
they don't.
Which is a
Especially
total
the health
racket.
business. And I'm sorry to tell everybody, okay? Every health book in the future that you buy out there, not mine, but every health book you buy is going to be a jumbled bunch of shit written by AI. No author in the health movement will ever write a book again. Okay?
That's true.
And it's going to be a jumbled bunch of crap, but I'm just letting you know that's what it's going to be. And these books, no.
These are real, okay, so I want to ask you some stuff about, you didn't answer the first question I asked you, which was, what
Sounds like I got a big ego today.
No, it's okay.
Right,
it's
let's
okay.
go.
I think it's endearing. What's the one thing that people should be doing for their health every day that they're not?
Yeah.
You didn't answer the question.
Yeah, they got to keep the fats low. That's one thing that's critical. Fats.
Okay.
Everybody's fatting themselves to death. I'm not talking about like people gaining weight and obesity.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that.
What are you talking
I'm talking
about?
about everybody's fatting themselves to death because every meal has fat in it.
Oh, okay.
It's just overt fat everywhere. They're burning their liver down. They're beating their liver down. They're tiring it out. They're thickening up their bloodstream so their immune system can't fight the fight because all that fat gets in the way. They're getting insulin resistance because they got so much fat in their bloodstream. They're just like fataholics. Throw some salt in there. Now they're salt fataholics.
So we should be staying away. Are you a proponent for animal protein then, or not?
Yeah, animal protein and plant-based.
Both.
See, medical medium info is for both.
So then
You can do animal protein. You can do protein. By the way, protein-based.
yeah,
You're welcome.
protein base,
Protein-based, animal-based, right?
protein based. Yes,
You know
yes,
how people
yes.
say protein-based?
Yeah,
They used to just say meat eater.
yeah. But now there's so many other ways you can eat protein.
Animal-based is what they say.
Yeah,
now.
animal based. Well,
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, you say that now? Is that because of you?
That yeah,
Oh,
yep.
I
And
was
now they've all
listening that.
taken it. They've all taken it. So
Oh,
animal based, because plant based, and it was meat eater. You're plant based and meat eater. That's it.
so you believe in both,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you're saying not to eat fat. But then are you talking like salmon has a lot of fat, almond butter has a lot of
yeah.
fat? What are you saying to
You're chronically sick. You keep on doing the high fats like that. You're just gonna go.
So what should we be eating every
You got to
day?
keep it down. You got to lower it. You can be on animal protein, but you got to kind of like get it in
Lean
check.
chicken,
You
but
got to do it at the end of the day, maybe once a day. You can be plant based and doing lots of avocado, maybe do it at the end of the day or something, or some avocado. You can be plant based, you want to do some nuts and seeds, maybe do it at the end of the day or every 3 days. Same thing with animal protein. Maybe if you're really sick, you do animal protein every 3 days, right? Because it's fat, it's animal fat. That's your animal protein.
so okay, wait. I have a question for you. I got a bunch, but how about vitamin D? 'Cause everyone's like, that's like, there's like all these
Yeah.
things that people say you must be doing, like vitamin D every day, creatine every day.
I totally destroyed the whole 50,000 IUs of vitamin D thing.
No, I did not know this.
Yeah, you don't even hear it. It's like it's crickets now.
Okay, tell me, what did you say?
I said, don't do 50 fucking thousand IUs of vitamin D because it's not a good idea. Vitamin D is fine.
I thought it's
but don't use them.
5,000, isn't it?
No, they've been pumping 50,000 for years, 30,000, the whole bit for years. It was the big thing for like a decade. Now it's like crickets, like 50,000 IUs? Chirp, 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 chirp. It's no one says it anymore. That's because I really got that one cleaned
So
up.
don't be having the vitamin D every day.
No, you can have it every day, but keep it down to 1,000.
Was that kind of overrated also?
Overrated, totally overrated. You can take all the vitamin D you want and still be bedridden, still be chronically sick. It's a good thing to do, but you can still be sick. You can still lose your life. You can still die of chronic illness, Mr. Chronic Illness. You can take all the vitamin D you want. But yeah, it's fine to do. I'm not anti-vitamin D. I think it's fine. It's overrated. It's one of those things that doesn't fix the problem.
What about omega-3s every day? What about is there any supplement
Yeah.
that is necessary?
Plant-based omega-3s, that's a great thing. Omega-3 still isn't the big fix-all either. You can be somebody that you can take all the omega-3s you want. You can still have fibro, neurological Lyme. You can be sick for 30 years, have multiple sclerosis. You can have tingles, numbness, aches and pains, and dizziness all the time. You can have jaw pain and brain fog and migraines and take all the omega-3 you want and you ain't coming out of it.
So is there any particular supplement that you think is a must, or what do you think? Is there anything we should be doing every day?
B12 is critical. I'm just giving you one. Okay, there's a bunch.
B12.
B12 is critical.
Okay, what about the sauna? We talked about
Just there's an anti-B12 thing right now. Starting up.
There
You're
is?
like, you don't need your B12. You can get it from your food and all that. Meat eaters are desperate for B12. Meat eaters, they can't get it from their food. They can't. Plant-based people, they can't get enough from their food. You do have to supplement it in the world we're in. It has to be the right B12, but you have to supplement it in the world we're in.
So everyone should be taking B12?
Everybody should be on B12.
Okay, because
Methylcobalamin, adenosylcobalamin. Everybody should be on that blend.
what does it do?
It's for the nervous system. It's for every cell in the body. It's for the brain. It's critical. If you got chronic illness and you're not on the right B12, like a good B12, you're losing out. You're losing out. Like it's the one thing that you can see a result really, really, really fast with is B12. Like if you're somebody that's been bedridden for a while and you're not on B12 and you start taking a good high dose of it, you can start all of a sudden being like, oh my God, I can move my shoulder. You got a way to recover, but I can move and I can think a little bit. Like it's unbelievable what happens. Yeah, B12 is that important.
Wow.
And right now there's like whatever's left of the plant-based movement because the animal-based movement crushed it. There's nothing left of it.
Yep.
It's really sad. There's barely anything left of the vegan movement, plant-based movement. And I was never just on that side. My books aren't medical medium, be a vegan, medical medium, plant-based is your only hope, right? I was never that. I was always like on both sides of the aisle where you want to do meat, let's do it right. You want to do chicken, let's do it right. Let's heal, but use all the medical medium tools while you're doing your meat. But what happened is the animal-based world, which they call animal-based now because of term, it's it's crushing the plant-based movement, and the youth, the young people in their 20s, teens and 20s, early 30s are not even going plant-based. They're just going they're just staying all animal, right? That's the movement and where it's going.
Well, because everything now is about protein,
Yeah.
and muscle and protein and longevity
Yep.
and the biohacking.
Yeah.
What's your take on the whole biohacking phenomenon, the longevity space?
Sure. The biohacking phenomenon is a death trap for somebody who's chronically ill. Yeah. It's just for guys that didn't get sick yet. They didn't get sick. They didn't have enough exposures. They don't have enough viruses. They don't have enough metals. They were born into this world with less heavy metals because their parents had less heavy metals. So they're, maybe they weren't injured by a vaccine. Maybe whatever it was, they're in a place that's okay enough, right?
Yeah.
Where they got the athletic thing going on. They're not sick yet. And they can do the biohacking thing. They can hop in an ice bath. They can go and do this. They can go try it. They can put some diodes on their head. They can take whatever they're taking, right? And they can play the game of, I'm the longevity guy. I'm going to live to be 150. That's my goal. Here, I'm trying this and trying this. Get a lot of likes and clicks. And, they can play that game, sure. But if they were chronically sick and they were doing what they were doing, bye. See you later.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that the sauna, though, is one biohacking?
The infrared sun has always been great.
I was going to say,
that's not a biohack.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say
that's
not a biohack, but it's something.
There's biohack.
That's just a wellness thing. I understand.
Wellness thing has been around since infrared started
for 100 years. I understand,
insane.
But you think that's the spiritual of compassion likes that one too, right?
Well, properly. Don't go in there and cook yourself if you're somebody that's sensitive. Don't go in there and set it for 45 minutes at the highest heat. Yeah, you'll be sick. You'll get yourself really sick. You can hurt yourself with an infrared sauna badly. But yeah, you got chronic illness, you got neurological problems, you got weaknesses, immune system compromises. Go in there for 10 minutes with a little bit of heat on. Don't go in there and bake yourself like a clam.
No, there are people who actually don't think the infrared is hot enough. So now it's up to 220, those ones, like the real Finnish ones.
That's where we go into now biohacking bullshit.
Yeah, that's that was what I was going to ask you.
That's the level of biohacking bullshit.
What do you think of those? Not good.
Terrible. Because you'll have this guy who's got a lot of muscle, didn't get sick yet. Maybe he's in his late 20s. He's going to go there and push the temp real high. And then you get some petite girl that's got like migraines. She's got like a vagus nerve problem, right?
Yeah.
Low immune system, had a bunch of blood pulled out of her. She's going to go in there. I really like this guy who's, such a strong biohacker. And maybe he's got the answers. Let me go in there.
Right. So it's not right for everybody.
It's
just not right. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah. I understand. Okay, I got to ask you some stuff from this book because I wrote some. I thought.
We can talk all day.
I know.
Just,
we could talk. I could talk to you all day.
We can't scratch the surface of medical medium information.
No, listen. There's so much, but just because it was this book that kind of instigated you being back on the show, I wanted to talk to you about a few foods, okay? Because what I found.
All right, but I can't remember every word in that book.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to.
It's got 200,000 words.
Mangoes. Can we talk about mangoes? Do you remember?
God, they're so good for people.
Do you remember anything? I'm going to read this. I want to read this, okay?
Yeah.
Mangoes are life-changing when it comes to our emotional health. Not only do they...
The glucose to the brain from mangoes is a big deal.
This is a big one, right? Not only do they uplift your mood, they can alleviate depression and several seasonal affective disorders.
Absolutely.
They're especially healing for anyone who feels abandoned, cut off, forsaken, and outcast, or shunned, detached, lonely, hurt, left out, or let down.
You gotta love a spirit of compassion. That's all I can say.
Yeah, this is crazy.
That's just crazy.
You didn't write this. The Spirit of Compassion wrote this.
How am I going to write that? I barely got out of high school.
Yeah,
I don't have a college education.
Well,
and I don't use AI. It's word for word from Spirit of Compassion. These are highly intelligent medical books. It's medical medium science.
Well, this is okay. So it says when we eat them, the fruit. I can't even say without my glasses, but the fruit reorientates us, changing our direction and opening us up to more opportunities to experience joy, which ultimately helps us connect to our destiny. All from a mango? Is that true?
Yeah. Not from a piece of mango. not from a supplement that has a speck of mango
How about
in
dry
it.
mango?
Okay, this is what I'm trying to say, and that's the confusion here, right? There's these like dumb fruit and vegetable compilations out there
Okay.
that are like supplements, but you're getting, and there's also dumb herbal ones too, and there's like a speck of something, like a speck of burdock fruit, a speck of mango, right?
No, I'm talking about a real
But check
mango.
this out.
Yes.
Check this out, right? And they do these compilations and these pills. You don't get anything from that. You
Right.
can't get anything from a speck of anything. But check this out. The mango, you're talking about eating a mango. You're talking about not just one, and you're not doing a mango on top of a cheesecake. I'm not talking about mixing those. If you learn how to eat to heal, like truly eat and heal, right? The right way, and you do mangoes on the right way, miracles happen. And that's the stuff you're reading right there. It's
really
unbelievable.
So
you eat a mango before bed, you sleep better. You like the miracles that happen.
I love. Well, the reason why I stuck on the mango was because I'm obsessed with the mango. I eat like a bag of dried mangoes a night. I love them. Like real mango.
Dried fruit's a little.
But it's the real thing. It's just it's not no added sugar. It's just the mango that was dehydrated like that.
I know. You gotta be careful though. You gotta try not to do too much of that.
I love it though.
The dried fruits are like this. You got to be kind of careful. Dates are different.
Okay, tell me.
They don't really dry them too often. They let them naturally dry.
Okay.
It's a different process. They come they're kind of moist, wet, juicy. When they come off a tree, you eat a date, it's like juicy. It's like the juice will run down your hands. It's actually bizarre. You go to the store, there's no juice in them. You open them up, right?
Yeah, they're dry.
still better. They're still better. But when you go to dried fruits, dried mango can be okay. You just can't eat a ton of it because it takes longer to break it down in its dried state.
Yeah.
So now you got a big hunk of mango sitting in your gut.
Yeah.
It's not breaking down as fast as it needs to. So you got to pace yourself.
I can't.
Chew it good. Chew it good. Make sure it really breaks down in your mouth enough. And then you're okay with dried mango. And make sure there's no sulfur and
no
stuff on
sulfur.
there.
But so you don't get the same benefits with the dried mango as a regular mango that has.
You get some.
But not
some.
But how
not
does it
the
help
whole
your
thing.
emosual state? Like, what does it do to your brain? Is it because of the high
There's
sugar?
something called the emotional centers of the brain. I wrote about that from SOC in the Brain Saver books.
Okay, yeah.
Unbelievable books, the Brain Saver books.
Talk about what's in that.
My God, it's all about metals in the brain, how they become alloys. So people don't realize that
that's the one we talked
when you're
about
under
last
stress, your brain heats up. And when your brain heats up, it can actually, because microscopic levels like septo and octo of metal, it can actually transform in your brain and shift and shapeshift in your brain. You got mercury, you got aluminum, you got copper in your brain. It can actually meld together, creating an alloy, a toxic heavy metal alloy in the brain, right? And heating of the brain from your electrical impulses and stress. Somebody pisses you off, they text you, you get some problem, breaking up in a relationship. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship. Maybe you're just miserable and you're under so much stress. Your brain's constantly under fire. Electrical impulses are heating everything up. And then you got all these different components of mercury, aluminum, copper, lead. And then all of a sudden, that stuff just starts to meld together because it can melt together under that kind of heat because it's so microscopic, the metal. It's malleable at a low temp. And I talk all about it in Brain Saver, right? And these alloys make it so now your OCD is worse than ever. How many people got OCD out there? Tons.
Probably me.
Suffering from OCD, like real bad OCD, the kind where you can't even
Leave the
can't even
house.
get out of a room. You can't even get out of a room, right? You can't open up the refrigerator, that kind of OCD, because when you close your refrigerator, you think you closed it 1,000 times. Or the OCD that a lot of people freak out about, where it's not really that. It's not about light switches and
Right.
stoves. I'm like, dude, it's a lot about stoves and light switches and door locks.
It is.
But it's also there's so many varieties of OCD about thoughts and repeating thought. I could go on forever for OCD. I just don't want the OCD police going after me.
No, I want you
He
to.
doesn't understand OCD. Hate him.
That's right. But wait a second. But while you're talking about OCD, can you tell us what someone can do if they are listening?
Getting the metals out.
Getting heavy metals.
OCD is the repetitive hitting of an electrical impulse going through neurons and slamming into a pocket of metal and then going back the other way. It can't go through. It hits and goes back the other way. And when it goes back the other way, another electrical impulse with the same thought The same thought is, you know, I want to kill myself, or some other thought somebody has that's just taking over. And there we go. That electrical impulse has that thought in it, and it comes down and it slams into the other electrical impulse. They hit together, and then another one comes down and they hit together, but they can't push through because they're hitting a pocket of alloy or mercury or a pocket of metal, and they're hitting this, and that's OCD. Finally, you go into this fever heat, you go into this healing crisis, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden your body shuts down, your brain shuts down, and you go to sleep. You shut down because eventually that electrical impulse had to find a new route. You wake up in the morning, it starts all over again, or later on that day. That's OCD, right? That's information that's so advanced. Nobody can touch that information. I'm proud of it. It's SOC's information. I can never come up with any of that, but it's life-saving because then you learn how to take the metals out.
How do you take the metals out?
The right kind of heavy metal detox, not the bullshit out there.
Okay.
The right kind that works. And we got a track record of so many people getting their lives back.
Tell me.
That's the difference right there.
Okay, tell me what the right, not chelation, is that the kind?
You got to have 5 ingredients. They got to be working hand in hand together or throughout the day. You got to have a spirulina, a good spirulina. You got to have a barley grass juice powder, not a barley grass juice powder. You got to have a cilantro. You got to have dulse, Atlantic coast seaweed, sea vegetable, dulse, and you got to have wild blueberries. Got to have those 5. Has to be throughout the day, or it has to be all in one thing or in a bowl or something with other fruits, but you got to have that. Check out medical medium information, learn how to get the metals out, get rid of your OCD, get rid of your depersonalization, your bipolar diagnosis, get rid of your suffering, get the metals out of your brain. And just so you know, metals being the cause of all those things are original medical medium information. And that's the other incredible thing all in its own. I don't want anybody thinking of, oh, that information must have been out there since he's talking about it. No, it is our information, SOC's information.
How often should someone be drinking this concoction?
Every day.
Every
or
day?
a couple times a week or every other day, whatever they can do. Maybe make it smaller if you don't want to make it bigger, but just you got to start and move your life forward. Millions have, and they've gotten their lives back. I didn't get this far because of PR campaigns and bullshit book scams and all kinds of stuff that they're all doing. I got this far from putting this information and people healing with this information out there.
Okay, I have one for you because I know this is something that's very hot right now. Is ADHD, ADD. Is there any kind of is there any type of thing?
Such an easy one to fix.
Yeah, how do you fix ADHD?
So just the heavy metal detox, the medical medium heavy metal detox. Such an easy one to fix.
That one's just the same one as the OCD?
So ridiculously easy. Throw in some celery juice, properly done. You got to look up medical medium information, but throw in some celery juice, heavy metal detox in there. Learn about maybe the medical medium morning cleanse where you're keeping the fats out away from the morning, and do some lemon water in the morning. ADHD, kiss it goodbye. See you later, alligator. Such an easy one. And that's the whole point, is you're not allowed to heal that many people, and we've done that. And that's why I'm still censored in places. And that's why people do hate me, because they don't understand the loyalty, the amount of people that have healed, the people that speak good about medical. They just can't put their finger on it. I'm not an MD. They don't understand it. The social media, like the social media doctors that never practiced before, they get on social, they just talk shit. They don't get it. Meanwhile, they never got one person better in their whole career. It's information that changes lives. Bottom line.
Basically, like, let's say people are drinking this concoction for ADD, right? And including celery juice. How long does it take to see some type of?
It could be days for a lot of people. The brain fog starts to lift. It could be, and then all of a sudden the brain fog's lifting. Now ADD, ADHD is starting to lift. It could be a couple of months. Somebody could have so much metal in there where it's not just ADHD, it's ADHD plus some bipolar, plus some mania, plus a little bit of schizo.
Yeah, it could be everything.
It could be everything. And then you start knocking them one at a time. Like, my depersonalization's better. Schizophrenia is getting better. Hey, my ADHD just got better. My OCD's getting better. And it all depends, but you chip away, because this world's death by 1,000 cuts. And there's so many traps and snares and potholes out there for everybody right now. And it's a game right now. The health movement is such a game. It's actually sickening. But just got to put your big boy pants on and take it one day at a time.
So you don't believe in chelation? Is that the thing that's called when they pull it out of you?
Yeah, until the medical medium information changed the term, it's called heavy metal detox. That's starting from the start. They
Okay.
never called heavy metal detox heavy metal detox. That's info. And it's worldwide now. That's my term. It's started so many years ago. They used to call just chelation, and they usually just did it for lead. That's it.
Yeah.
They did it for lead for children that ate paint chips. That's all that was. It was chelation for lead for paint chips for children. Medical medium heavy metal detox is the term. Yep. And I've been doing that stuff and getting out there for 40 years. That's right.
Wow. Okay. What about anything else? Like, is there like a watermelon, anything specific fruit, food wise that you think everybody should be eating every day?
Try to grow a mulberry tree. Get
Okay.
yourself a mulberry tree. Did you plant one here?
No.
You gotta.
A mulberry tree.
Yep. Plant one here. Get some mulberries growing. Go out there and pick some mulberries, Do
Really?
that. Yeah.
Why?
Before you go out to your appointments and go out to go do this.
Really?
Before you go out and do that. Before you hop on your treadmill. Before
Yeah.
you start doing your work. Go outside and do it.
Really?
Before you shop online for different clothes, go outside and pick some mulberries.
Why?
Because they're loaded with the antioxidants that make a difference. They got trace minerals in them that are critical. The roots go deep into the earth. The other one is wild blueberries. Get some wild blueberries.
I eat tons of berries.
Wild blueberries?
No.
Berries suck. Wild blueberries? That's the key. Berries are great. They don't suck that bad. They just don't move the needle entirely. They don't do what a wild blueberry and a mulberry can do, especially a wild blueberry. Whoa, those are a whole nother thing too, because they're removing so many metals from the brain. It's just such a great thing.
Really? So let's say I had a smoothie every day with just wild blueberries.
Don't put almond butter in there and coconut oil and cacao. And,
No.
the cacao in there and the chocolate in there.
No.
Don't destroy your smoothie. Do something like clean and pure.
Like what? Tell me what to do.
Throw some wild blueberries in there. Maybe if you want a couple of bananas in there, throw
Protein powder?
Protein powder.
Could I do that?
Crappy natural flavor crap and everything else.
What if it's a good protein powder?
What's a good protein powder?
I love Momentous. Have you tried it?
What's on the ingredient list?
I can show it to you. They're third party tested. They're NSF certified.
Yeah.
They are supposed to be one of the cleanest ones out there.
But we don't do anything with straight protein.
No, but you put it in a smoothie or yogurt or whatever.
No, I mean, straight protein doesn't do anything for the body. Like if you just isolated protein and had somebody on that as a diet for about 3 months, they would look like a Holocaust victim.
That's probably true.
It is true. So, what happens is that protein isn't like the answer. That whole protein thing
I know.
is a whole nother problem on its own. So I just made 10 more friends?
Yeah.
Or did I just lose 10
You
more
lost-
friends?
you lost
I just
a
lost
lot
a
of
bunch of
friends.
friends.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
You lost a lot of friends.
You know what? I still have to, you know what though? Those friends, 5 years down the road, will start hearing every day that protein isn't what we thought
Is it? Well,
was.
no, I just had a whole podcast about this.
There you
Protein
go.
has been it's like the trend right now. It's
Yeah.
all about protein.
Yeah.
Are people just over protein themselves?
I talked about it 10 years ago in the medical medium books before anybody even uttered it. Yeah, I mean, people are just over proteining themselves. Protein isn't the answer to really fix anything. It doesn't fix chronic illness. You get sick or have a symptom, protein makes it worse. It just makes it worse.
Why?
Whether it's plant protein, like whether it's beans and just all bean protein, whether it's just all and only pea protein, whether it's just animal protein, if you're focused on just protein only and you're sick, you're going to get sicker.
Why?
Because there's no real glucose. There's no living water. There's no trace minerals. There's the things that actually heal you. They're the things that you need to recover your central nervous system, your vagus nerves. You sit there like messing with protein all the time when you get sick. That's another trap. You're just going to go down the road, But what you do, you got proteins naturally in everything. Anyway, the mango has protein in it. Spinach has protein in it. All the leafy greens, arugula has protein in it. You can get protein virtually everywhere in anything. You don't need to do the powders and hammer on like isolated factory made protein. I don't care if it's third party tested. All right. I think I tortured you enough on this episode.
Wait a second. I've got one more question about.
You're going to need like Dr. Spock
I know. But you
to
just
give you a mind meld of some kind and get you
100%.
back into the trends and the biohacks.
No, but you said, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to ask for the
Right.
food. Which there's all this controversy over spinach, tomatoes. You know,
I pretty much
what do you think about
cleaned up
that?
the controversy on tomatoes pretty bad. Like the people in the health movement never even went near a tomato because of nightshades.
Yeah.
I pretty much destroyed that. People
How?
are eating tomatoes again by publishing all the information about
So
how
tomatoes are good for you again.
amazing for you. It's just an incredible food for you.
How about spinach?
Oh, it's so good for you. Raw.
Yeah, but you know, there's
Raw spinach is so good. There's a medical medium spinach soup people swear by. It helps them, gets their brain back, gets electrolytes to their brain, trace mineral salts to their brain. Spinach soup is beautiful, but cooked spinach isn't my favorite. It's raw spinach. That's the key.
Okay.
You get all the people, the worry warts about oxalic acid, oxalates, all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's just they've been given misinformation, and that's the problem. Between that and pearl powder and collagen crap and colostrum, which is bullshit and doesn't fix anybody. They're just taking it from the baby calves, right? All of that just doesn't work. And people are just stuck in all these traps, and that's one of them.
Wow. Okay. So I can ask you a bazillion questions. So from what I got from
That's
this,
why the most powerful people in the world, except for Elon Musk, reach out to me and I need to ask you 50 questions.
Well,
and I'm on the phone for ever.
Tell Elon right
what's
here.
What's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? They're like, my mind's blown. I can't believe this.
Well, we can send this to Elon Musk. So say you want to be back on X and he should uncensor you.
I want it working. I'm on X. It's just not working.
Okay. Well, there you go. Maybe he'll hear it and maybe
he'll take off the glitch that Twitter once put on many years ago.
Maybe.
Where they just stopped it. They just stopped it from working.
Stranger things have happened. You have a spirit talking to you every day. I think that if that can happen every day, then maybe Elon can help you.
You never know.
You never know. But so far, mulberry tree, and everyone should have a mulberry tree.
Yeah, they should.
We talked about ACD,
It should be on wild blueberries.
Wild blueberries every day.
Not the blueberries in the pint-sized clamshell, plastic container where it's just an organic blueberry.
How about frozen wild blueberries?
Yeah, of course. That's the way to go.
That's what. Okay.
Frozen wild blueberries.
Do you know what's really weird or funny is that you became super well known because of
I'm a household name.
Because of celery juice.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
no. I'm also a household name from people healing around the world.
But the mainstream
heavy metal
people,
detox, that actually
heavy metal detox.
It's a big one.
Isn't that was celery juice? Is that what the claim was, that celery juice was?
Well, here's the problem with celery juice, okay?
Yeah.
So here's the problem, right?
Yeah.
The problem is before the health industry turned into a total money-making, marketing machine where it's a dog-eat-dog world, like I was explaining before. Before that happened, everybody was like, yeah, celery juice, it's healing me. And then every single supermodel and every single influencer decided to wake up one morning and say, I'm going to bank and I'm going to sell my own shit. And then they're like, I'm not talking about the celery juice no more because no one makes a penny off of it.
Right.
Barely the farms do. But you can't keep celery in stores. There's thousands of new farms. It's the number one freaking herb selling. It is a worldwide phenomenon, and people are drinking it every day, but you don't hear a peep. Because if you start squealing about it, it brings me up.
Yeah.
And no one's being paid. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not being paid for talking about me,
Right.
So no one's, that's one reason. The other reason is nobody can make money. They can't bank off of it.
Well, yeah, but there's a million companies making celery juice, though.
Yeah, but it's not a big banker.
Yeah, it's not.
There's not a big margin. There's not a big, you can't really, it's just, people make it at home.
Yeah, they make it at home. And it's also, you have all these rules around it, right? You can't make it. What is it? You can't have it.
Don't put lemon in there. You can if you want. You can put lemon in there if you want, if you're not going to drink it otherwise.
What was the other
one? If
one?
you're somebody that's headstrong, you can put lemon in there. If you're somebody that's headstrong, put apple in there. Somebody that doesn't like the flavor, put some apple in there. You can do that.
But it has to be fresh or 24 hours. I remember all these rules around it.
You want to drink it fresh. And you want to strain it after you juice it.
Right.
You want to drink it pretty soon. But not just that, you want to drink enough of it. You don't want to just eat celery and think you're going to fix yourself. The whole thing with the dietitian thing, when celery juice exploded and I was all of a sudden everybody knew who I was, whatever. Yeah, everybody. What happened was dietitians came out. There was 100 media articles on me. This guy hears a voice. He's not a doctor.
I remember.
He's not an MD, right? Just hundreds of them everywhere.
I know.
And all these dietitians, they would get on there in the articles, and the dietitians would be like, "You really need to eat celery. Juicing it doesn't give you the
fiber.
fiber.
Yeah, I
And you know what I
remember.
mean? Like that's all you heard. It's like, okay, if you're chronically sick and you just eat it, you're not going to get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
I
just need to do what
remember.
you got to do.
I totally remember that. Okay, I've got a couple business questions for you. I have to, right? Well, because I'm curious. You don't do the circuit at all. Like, for example, I'm going to Eudaimonia next week. I'm speaking at this place called Eudaimonia. It's a health summit. You have
Yeah.
all the health people. You'd be phenomenal. I'm sure everyone would love to see you, hear you, be on a panel or do a talk, whatever.
I'm asked to do a lot of those
I was
things
going
over
to
the
say,
years.
you just
Yeah.
not want to do it?
You know, I probably would rather like watch regular TV, something people don't watch, and watch a bunch of reruns from like 1970s than put myself through the painstaking abuse of watching other speakers give out bad advice to a bunch of
Right.
people. But
So,
you know
right.
what though? You know what though?
What?
I mean, at the same time, I respect everybody who's doing it. Like,
But wait.
here's the thing: you have to
Okay.
understand. Like, I say these things only in the defense of the chronically ill. Other than that, I have respect for people and
No, I don't-
and
I don't
speakers
care
and
anyway. You can
yeah,
keep going.
okay. But no, I want people to know I'm not a total dick. I
I
actually
don't think
actually
you're a
have
total
respect
dick. I
for a
think-
lot of people.
Okay, wait. So, like,
Yeah.
for maybe not a panel, you're right, because it would be weird for conflicting information, blah blah. But even to like be like a fireside chat, like you and I would do a fireside chat
Sure,
somewhere.
sure.
Are you never open to those things?
No, I am. It's just that I'm busy actually writing real books.
Yes,
200,000 word books
Yes.
that are literally saving people's lives.
Well-
And you know, like these books are so fat, they're so packed. There's
Yeah.
no fluff in them. And I
Nope.
sit in a chair. Well, my exercise is sitting on a chair and doing this year after year after year. These things are so hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, I have to have the back of the chronically ill. If I go gallivanting, I can't tell you how many times Hollywood's knocked on my door, like top producers, we can do a medical medium TV series in 2 seconds
Yeah,
flat with
and you don't wanna
We
do
can
it?
throw people in front of you. You can do like your light work. And I'm like, I got books to write. They're like, books? Who cares about books? This is what the Hollywood producers say to me all the time. Who cares? That's just a business card, man. Who gives a shit about books? I have them like, you know what I mean? They're like, we can do TV shows 24/7 with you. You can be like the Gordon Ramsay of the health movement with what you do. You hear a voice, for God's sake. And I'm like, dude, that's going to take me away for years for writing the books. And then I don't want to chase the flashy thing, but then some mornings I wake up and I'm like, Spirit, I'm gonna go for it. I'm calling that,
Yeah.
producer back. You know what I mean?
Why don't
I'm
you?
calling-
You've never explored doing like an 8-part series on Netflix or something like that.
I haven't. No, I haven't explored it at all. I've had a lot of knocks on the door. I
You
have
do
not-
well. You got 5 million people on Instagram following you.
Well, that's not including Facebook. It's not including my other platforms. I think I'm way above 10 million. So.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't even know how much. How many people does he have following him?
I
Probably
got-
like 20 million. Well, on Facebook alone, probably you have a ton.
No, I got a lot on Facebook. I don't think it's 10, but I got a bunch. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
No, you have a. But that's what I'm saying.
but
Like,
it's not. You know what it really is too.
what?
It's the word of mouth out there, and,
Yeah.
and everybody posting because they're healing, and the medical medium is in every feed, in everywhere, in every genre. It's insane, and I've been blessed because of the information actually working. If this information
I know, if it didn't work, I
would
know.
be so screwed. I would be like, yeah, I'm the medical medium. Do you want to come and talk to me?
Well, yeah, that's the part that's. I'm telling you, that's the part that's a little bit freaky. Is because like the truth of the matter is, you have people that you've actually legit helped because
Yeah.
it wasn't like if you go online, people are like, oh yeah, he helped me with this, he did this with me. So it's like, well, there has to be something to it if there is these people, are
Yeah.
these people? Sorry, I should
Yeah,
say.
there's a lot to it.
So like, okay, so no TV right now.
I mean, look, I might do some stuff, and I might do some different forums, and I might do some different talks and everything. I got stuff with Gaia. I'm working with Gaia, so I'm going to do some stuff with them.
Yeah, but that's old school. I mean, I'm
Oh,
talking like
man, come on,
you
don't
could-
put down
you
old
c-
school.
No, but I'm saying like
old school's cool.
you should do a 6-part.
I know,
Forget
I know,
about
I know.
8-part.
Netflix.
Netflix or like Hulu, like a 6-part series. That
I
would just
know.
and you would sell a 10 billion more books than you
I know
already
that.
have.
I agree 100%.
And you know what I like about this is that I could be your agent. No, because I think
all right, you're
I
hired.
can do it as
You're hired.
I would
10%.
I know I'm not 10.
I'm just
I want
I know.
20%. But I was going to say,
You want 50%. 50%.
15 no, not 50. I'll take 15.
All right.
But I think we should tell a show. And I'll tell you,
But if I go in debt by doing too much charity,
debt, I don't think you're going in
because I
debt.
use all my money
You've
to
sold
do all
20
kinds
million
of
books.
events for my community. If I go in debt or something or lose all my money, will you break that 50% open a little and
I don't
give me
know.
some of that back?
Listen, I don't know about that.
All right, let's
You
go.
obviously you're doing fine, obviously with the amount of books you're selling. But what I would say is this: that like if you did a 4 to 6 part series on like a Netflix or a Hulu, you'd be open to a whole new audience that you never had. Sell all these other books, the ripple effect. But you don't want to do all the other ancillary things that come with it. You don't want to do the speaking gigs. You don't want to go on these tours. You don't want to probably do all those things.
Yeah.
Which then kind of, but that's okay. We can work around it.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good angle for you.
Well, I just was in Barnes and Noble.
Yes.
I've been turning down Barnes and Noble at book signing there for 10 years.
Yes.
Why
did you do it now?
One reason because it would be really hard probably for them to handle the amount of people, because I did a book signing in Culver City and almost 30,000 people showed, and they shut the city down. And in the city, the entire police department, entire fire department,
Really?
they had to tell me to leave by 2 o'clock or something in the afternoon. It was because the city was shutting down. Couldn't even function anymore. There were 30,000 people there. And so what happens is, I could do Coliseum gigs, but I just don't, it's a lot of work, man. A lot of like, oh my God. And the thing is basically the bottom line is, if I do like the lecture circuit or anything like you're saying, it's, I want to make sure, okay, I did the Barnes and Noble book signing and I did a light blast for each individual.
Okay.
At the Barnes and Noble book signing, right? So each person, I asked Spirit of Compassion will do a little light work, and maybe anybody listening or watching this right now, they know about light work, and maybe they believe in the spiritual aspect of light work and healing light and that supernatural aspect. And angels and other stuff, but I was doing light work on each individual. I'm not going to be able to do that at other speaking engagements when I'm mixed in with a bunch of different people.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
doing stuff. I can't be like, there's so many rules and regulations. I can imagine the producers in one of those forums or one of those gigs being like, what do you want to do, AW? You want to bring up the crowd and give them light work? You want to do a light blast? They're not going to allow that. They're just so I'm really
They will allow it. They will. You should be able to be a master of your own own destiny.
I'm in it for the chronically ill. I got their back. That's all I care about.
But you could go into you could do like in the audience and be like, hey, you should, and like, Bob, what's your problem? And you can do that.
If we can find ways on a commercial level, like you're talking about, right?
Yes,
to do this, but to keep the integrity to the chronically sick, where I don't lose any of that integrity.
It has nothing to do with the chronically sick. You can still be helping the chronically sick and be helping them. Like, do you know how many schmagaggies are out there doing like all sorts of like, live podcasts and live events and like, and like it's a whole business.
Yeah, I know.
And even if you did like 5-city thing, right? Like, or 4 cities or whatever it is, even stay in LA and do like different areas or whatever. And then you had like 2,000 people in the audience and you'd be like, okay, Bill, okay, John, and just 5-10 minutes. And then you can just have questions answered. Like, I think it would be a really nice extension. Yes, I think so. And you can call the shots.
Well, listen, you got great advice.
Thank you.
You're definitely well experienced. You're well versed. You're seasoned with the business aspect of it too.
Yes.
And you can always look. We'll talk and give me some advice and stuff.
I will.
AW, you should do it this way, and you should try this.
I'm not just giving you lip service. I really
this
think
is business talk we're on right now, man.
Exactly. I am giving you I'm telling you like a direction that I think can make you like a huge another revenue stream. Not like you care about the money. You don't have any products besides your books.
I don't want to be underneath a bridge.
You're not
wrapped in newspaper someday.
Well, you're not.
So no,
you're not. Trust me. You have an entourage of 47 people. You're not going to be under a bridge. You can sleep on their couch if worse comes to worse. I just think that you have like a lot of like. I think you're so interesting.
That's funny.
You're so interesting and different and unique that should be like explored a little bit more. That's all I'm saying.
I'm honored.
And like you have a lot of people who are doing much less in the world who are doing a lot more. Is all I'm saying. You can just take that.
I know that too. I do know that. I know the game. I know.
Well, we can talk about this offline if you want.
Offline. We will. We will.
Okay, we'll talk about offline. But okay,
of course.
The new book is called Life-Changing Foods Expanded Edition by Anthony William.
Expanded edition. That's the difference. It's got to be the expanded edition.
It has to be.
It's packed. It's
It
so big.
is packed.
The first
It's
edition was a
crazy.
#1 New York Times bestselling book. It's changed so many lives. It's healed a lot of people with chronic illness, like big time, like really has.
Yeah.
But this is a whole nother book or more, even more on top of that.
No, it's amazing.
It's so packed.
All your books though have so much information. It's
I talk
beyond.
about mind control in this book. I mean, I talk about like all kinds of
Mind
stuff.
control. I didn't see that
There's
one.
a little touch in that. It's part of the unforgiving 6 that holds people back. I talk about pathogens. I talk about all kinds of different things, chronic illness, you name it. It's packed.
Mind control. I don't know
Yeah.
how my mind
There's so much
passed
mind
that.
control. That's why we're going to have you plant a mulberry tree and you're going to stop your busy life for 10 seconds and you're going to walk out there and you're going to grab that magical mulberry.
Yeah.
And then all of that entire conditioning that's happened to you,
it's
going
gonna
to get shocked out of you the minute you grab it and you put it in your mouth.
I hope you're
and then
right.
you'll be back to everything.
Okay, good. I'm gonna do that. I actually am gonna do that.
I'm just.
Is
kidding.
it
Come on.
blackberry okay?
Blackberries are close to wild. They are. That is one fruit.
Okay.
Out of the berries.
Yeah.
That's a great one. All berries are good for you.
But
they
blackberry.
are hands down. They are. But yeah, but blackberries, they're in a high league.
Better than blueberries, like basic
better
blueberry.
than the regular
Yeah,
blueberry,
than a
not
basic.
the wild blueberry.
Yeah.
The blackberry's better than the regular blueberry, hands down. The blackberries are really potent. There's some varieties that are basically close to wild. It's crazy.
Is it better to have organic, or was it always better?
It's always best to have organic, but always keep in mind, organic spray too.
Yes.
They spray. I've been breaking that out in the scene. I got so much hate for that one. Organic still sprays the nicotine. They still spray the caffeine. They spray all the copper, freaking industrialized copper sprayed on all the freaking organic stuff. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, conventional produce is so bad. Are you crazy? Dude, there's a lot of copper spray.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of nicotine. You got to wash your organic produce. You're going to be all jacked up, possibly nicotine,
Really?
caffeine, copper to your brain. Like,
I love that.
Yeah,
It's
you have to know how to wash your stuff.
Okay, then that's good to know. I'm going to do that. Okay, well, people should do that also. Just be aware.
And I have a recommendation. Anybody that has listened or watched this episode, please listen and watch it again.
Yes,
because there's a lot of info in here, and
I think so.
and I was kind of going high speed on it. We were going high speed.
There's so much. Listen, I could do 77 podcasts with you. This is just like touching. This is like a surface.
And it took
thing.
4 years for me to come back.
I know. Actually, it's 23 to 45. 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. Okay. But still, it took a long time.
Don't quote me on it. I believe you.
I'm just happy that I'm just happy you came back. How about that? I'm just happy you came back.
Honored. I'm honored.
And this is going to be. We're going to do this hopefully before another 3.5 years. We're going to be on tour together.
All right. It's very possible.
We are. I'm telling you. I can feel it. My
The
spirit's telling me.
chronically ill could really use your ingeniousness, your experience.
I'm telling you.
Because we have to help them.
I'm gonna talk. Listen, we're gonna finish this conversation. I'm not done with you yet, but I'm done on the podcast with you. So, Medical Medium, follow him, buy his book,
and books.
All
get them all.
All
get
real.
Them all. You'll be blown away.
If
you're a reader, if you're somebody that loves to read, your mind's gonna be blown. Those brain saver
true.
books, even Medical Medium Book 1, expanded edition of that. Oh my God, Liver Rescue, Cleanse to Heal.
Oh, that's a good. Liver Rescue is a good.
Just pick up Cleanse to Heal. Do you know on Amazon.com in the US? I just saw it was going for $12 for the hard copy. It's a massive book.
No, they're all massive books. Okay, guys, try it out. Look at it. Read 1, read 2, read 10, and we'll talk later. Bye.